Welcome to Car Sales Talk 101, where it's all about life in the car business. Telling you like it is. Here's the man with the plan, Terry Cameron. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Car Sales Talk 101. I'm Terry Cameron. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Just a couple days past the 9/11 remembrance, 20 years ago today. For those of you that remember, and for those of you that may have had people lost on 9/11 in any of those attacks, my heart is there with you, and I am more proud to be an American today than I ever have been. So, enough of that stuff. Let's get started. Remember, hop on over to Apple Podcasts, write me a review and give me a rating. It gives me the motivation I need to keep going. Now, this week, I want to talk about what I see happening in showrooms and through different comments that I get from different listeners, and it's about teamwork, or in some cases, the lack of teamwork. I read a story, it's been a little while, that had something to do with teamwork. There was a huge company, a large company, and they had a really good team. And the team, was very motivated. They were very intelligent. They were all pretty much go-getters. But they had to work alone most of the time. Now, when this new leader came in, decided she wanted them to start working as a team, she thought, wow, I've got these great employees, these great people here. And if we're going to put them together as a team, we are going to blow the doors off of everything. We are going to set records. We're going to be more efficient, more dynamic than we've ever been before. And she was more than wrong. You see, when you have a lot of good people together, that doesn't necessarily mean you have a great team, because people have to learn how to work together. And I see this happening all the time. Now, in this story, she goes on to talk about an exercise that she did to help them understand teamwork. And what she did is she had everybody blow up a balloon and write their name on the balloon. She told them, if the balloon pops, you got to be careful. If the balloon pops, then you are disqualified and you can't move on to the next round. Well, several of them had their balloons pop. Now, there was 40 people on this team, and she gave some of them a second chance, and still some balloons popped, so they were eliminated from moving to the next stage. The next stage, they went into this one small room, and there were a couple of balloons laying on the floor, and she had them all throw their balloons with their names on them in with the other balloons, and then she had them leave the room. While they were outside discussing or trying to figure out what was going on, she had even more balloons brought in and dumped in there with all the other balloons. She brought the team, or what was left of the team, in, and she said, okay, we need everybody to find their balloon with their name on it. And 40 minutes go by, and none of them found the balloon with their name on it. So she said, we're going to give you another shot. Here's what I want everybody to do. I want everybody to pick up a balloon, and whoever's name is on it, you give that balloon to that person. And it was amazing. In a matter of minutes, everybody had their balloon. And the object was to get everybody to understand how much easier it was to work as a team instead of individually. Instead of individually trying to find their own balloon with their name on it, they worked together as a team to find everybody's balloon, and it was done so much quicker, and everybody accomplished the goal. Well, I see things like this happening all the time, or the lack of things like this. Again, teamwork as far as, hey guys, when we get done with the meeting here, we got to get out there and straighten up the line, make sure all the cars have gas in them, they're clean, and if you have a good team, everybody's out there taking care of it. But I see too many times where there's always that one or two people or salespeople that just seem to have something else planned or disappear during this teamwork function of straightening the line. Or what about a customer coming in and they ask for a salesperson, and that salesperson is busy with another customer, and the person that greeted them just tells them, go, have a seat. They'll be with you in a minute. You have to admit, if you worked at a dealership that was the opposite of that, where a salesperson grabbed that customer and said, hey, no problem. Terry's with a customer right now, but I'll be more than happy to help you for him. And as soon as he frees up, then he'll be able to join us then. How's that sound? Right? I think that works so much better. You sell so many more cars. You make so many more customers happy when you work as a team. Right? I want you to think about this, and if you can watch it every day at your dealership, whether you're a salesperson or a manager, just watch what happens on a daily basis as far as teamwork happening or teamwork not happening. And then when you see things that are working and because of teamwork, you need to make it known. You have to point those things out and you got to discuss it. Because you know how we are, especially us managers. We like to go in these meetings and tell everybody what they did wrong. And we screwed this up, we screwed that up. I saw this happen, I saw that happen. But we don't want to go in there and talk to them about what good things. Like, hey, I saw Joe over here helping so-and-so in the service department without them even having to ask. And they got that job done just like that. And they were happy. And you know what? People get along so much better when they're working like that. So teamwork is really important. If you want to get a job done and you want to get a job done right, it's not just having the right people. Think about it. How many, let's say, NBA teams that have bought players, that have the best players on their teams, and they still couldn't win? They were all individuals. They weren't working as a team. Of course, they were known as a team. They had a team name. They had a team's coach, but they just didn't work as a team. I remember years ago when Michael Jordan made it into the NBA and he went to the All-Star game. And every time Michael Jordan got the ball, he kept the ball. He dribbled it all the way down, and he was the one that was going to shoot the ball, no matter what. So as the game went on, some of the other superstars at that time, Dr. J, I believe Karl Malone, Magic Johnson, all these guys that were in there, they would not pass the ball to Michael Jordan. Now, this has changed throughout the years. He was young, but it was all about him. He wasn't working with the team. The team still won because the remaining players that did work as a team stuck together. They just froze him out of it. I remember it as if it were yesterday. And then with 9/11 passing, I mean, think about the teamwork that was involved there at all those locations. What about the plane in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where a few of the people on the plane got together, his passengers got together, and as a team, they thwarted the enemy's effort to point that plane in the direction of Washington, D.C., and cause thousands of more lives. So if it was that one person or those 4 or 5 people all acting independently, do you think they would have had a good of chance to end all that? There's probably story after story that you can even think about, that you see all the time, about teamwork and how people get things done. Think about the military. My goodness. If a squad did not learn how to work together, they would never survive. They all had each other's back. What about a sports team that does believe in teamwork and work together as a team, who everybody understands each other's role? It's just like that in our showroom. We all have a role to play, and that role that we play is part of a bigger role that the team plays, which is to succeed, which is to sell more cars and make more money, have happy customer scores, have more repeats, more referrals. When customers can see us working as a team, they know it's a well-oiled machine. They know this is a place where they like to do business and they're going to like to continue to do business. But when they come in and they see just the opposite happen, I've seen customers leave the dealership just because of how the team that wasn't working as a team reacted to things happening on the showroom. So teamwork makes the dream work. And if you're stuck doing something, if you don't understand something about your job or the vehicle that you're trying to sell, find a teammate that does and get them to help you. And if they are a good teammate and they believe in teamwork, your chances of being successful just drastically got better. Okay, guys, I want you to think about this. This next week, next 2 weeks, look out for it. Try to note things and talk about them. Find something to talk about as far as what you've noticed when teamwork comes into play, or what happens when the lack of teamwork comes to play. And you got to remember, as a team, the sky really is the limit. And I'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Please rate it and write a review on Apple Podcast. We appreciate your valuable feedback. You can email Terry at 10minutesalestalk@hot.rr.com. And don't forget to share the show with a friend.